Hi everyone, and thanks for tuning in to the second video I've made for this campaign for 2007 for the AAS presidency. One question I've received from multiple people by email and also through telephone calls is specifically, Josh, what experience do you have with the administration? So I wanted to answer that question, and I wanted to do so via 3 examples. 1, through my experiences with the Trustee Committee on Student Life. 2, with my experiences on the BC with Dean Haynes. And 3, through a committee I created myself this past fall to deal with the reserves and also to get President Marks and Dean Lieber to start refunding student activities. First, since freshman year, I've been sitting on the Trustee Committee on Student Life. It's one of my favorite committees and allows me to interact on a one-on-one basis with a lot of the trustee members. On the committee, I've worked on trying to reestablish scrutiny as a important resource here in the college. It's something the Board of Trustees really feel very strongly about. And so I've created a committee on the student government, and we've worked to try to make scrutiny an important resource again. I've also worked with the Board of Trustees to try to get traditions back here at the college. A lot of you might know that at Mount Holyoke or at Smith they have something called Mountain Day, which is where the president of the college goes and rings a bell and everyone has a free day to do whatever they want. And, I don't know if I'm, condoning giving all the students a day off, for no reason, but I think that Amherst needs to have some traditions of its own, and if we get some school time off because of it, that's not the end of the world in my opinion. The second thing is my experience with the BC. Since sophomore year, so in 2 years, I've been sitting on the BC, it's the Budgetary Committee, and during my time there, I got to know a lot about the budgetary process here for the student government, but I also was very lucky to get to know Dean Haynes, who heads up the Campus Center. He is Dean of the Campus Center, and he is so instrumental for our school. He basically, if you need any activity, any event you want to happen at this school, and you want students involved, he's the person to go to, and we have a very close relationship, so I feel very comfortable in the upcoming year utilizing him to get the activities that the student government needs to do and that students want to do on our campus. Third, this fall I started a committee called the Ad Hoc Committee on the Reserves. Basically, the short story is that we had about $100,000 that were sitting in this separate account in the student government. We decided, there's something we need to do about this, and I formed a committee, and we started looking at ways to spend this money. But it's also very important to say that while we had this money, President Marks and Dean Lieber had decided that they would not fund any student activities on campus. And this is really a shame because it was kind of trying to force our hand into spending this money, the student body's money, when we weren't even sure on the best way to do so. And so we were very afraid that we'd have to spend a lot of this money on things that we shouldn't be because the president and the dean of students had decided that they would not fund anything. So I held some meetings with them. They were a little tense at first, but we reached a very acceptable conclusion, and I think on the student body's behalf. And I was able to sort of negotiate, if you want to call it negotiating with the dean of students and the president, to get them to start funding student activities again. So again, I think those are some stories that should show, friendly, and maybe a little more negotiation adversarial, but I've had some real experience working with the administration, and I've gotten some real results. So I think that for anything that requires interaction with the administration, I am more than qualified to lead as president in any interaction like that. Thank you.